Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about second normal form or 2NF. So in the 2NF, make sure you accomplish 1NF or you fulfilled 1NF. Second is we'll have to make sure that partial dependencies are removed. And then third one is make sure that all fields in that table are functionally dependent. And you'll have to establish relationship between the tables that you have decomposed. And that is the essence of primary key and foreign key relationship. Okay. So this time, when we talk about in our table, recall that we have contact one, contact two, and we have also email one and email two. We split them up into two different fields on that table, and we actually decompose them we just created another table for each of this field. So we have created a contact, we have created an email table or tables, contact and email tables. So this time, another way to actually identify that this particular field is not actually related to this table is in the second normal form. You'll have to make sure that you'll have to look you'll have to look up a field which are not directly connected to that table. And so that is what we call partial dependencies. So when we talk about partial dependencies, when an attribute is in a table depends on only a part of the primary key and not on the whole key. It is implies that a person or as an owner, it can exist without these attributes. Example, remember, as a person, you cannot exist without a name. All right? You cannot exist without a gender. Of course, it's given that we'll have to assign primary key for that table. And you cannot exist as a person if you don't have the age. Okay? You cannot exist as a person if you don't have the civil status because it must be a field, it must be part of a field in the table because that's how you are being identified as a person. Okay, among all here, there are for some reasons you can exist as a person even though you don't have the contact number, if you don't have the email, if you don't have the pets. Okay, you can actually exist as an owner or as a person. Perhaps you can actually exist even without an address, but again, it's necessary that you'll have an address. So basically, when we talk about partial dependencies, contact one, contact two, email one, and email two are actually partially dependent to this table, which means that they are not functionally dependent because again they are partially dependent. Okay, so that is what we call partial dependency. Okay, so in second normal form, aside from identifying or determining the partial dependencies, you have to also make sure that all of your fields in this particular table are functionally dependent. Make Meaning to say that these fields cannot exist without or a person or this let's say this, since this is an owner table, an owner which is a person cannot exist without its name, without its gender, without its age, and without its civil status. So that's what we meant of functionally dependency or functional dependency, or these fields are functionally dependent to this table. So functionally dependency means that each field that is not the primary key is determined by the primary key, so it is specific to that record. Okay, so again, partial dependencies must be identified, and functional dependencies uh, must be the only thing that are present in that particular table. So basically, partial dependencies should be also, should be removed from that table, and you create another table, which is basically for contact one, contact two, and for email one and email two. Although, of course, you have already resolved the problems or issues about making it all making all the fields should be at making all fields atomic. So, and then although we are able to resolve that during the first normal form, it can also occur in in a several parang even in a second normal form. So that is why you'll have to know which field is actually functional, which field or our fields are actually functionally dependent to that particular table. Okay, and that's when you know that this field are has parang strong parang identifier, parang these fields are actually has a strong connection with in our table, meaning to say that particular person or owner cannot exist without these fields. They cannot be considered as that uh, in that they cannot be considered as a person without these fields. Okay, so again, make sure that all tables must have primary keys and attributes must be functionally dependent. Hence, your table now is in 2NF. And after that, we are going to talk about third normal form. So, thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.